Rail transport in France is operated mostly by SNCF, the French national railway company. France has the second largest European railway network, with a total of 29,901 kilometers of railway. However, the railway system is a small portion of total travel, accounting for less than 10% of passenger travel. Since 1981, the SNCF has operated the TGV service, a high-speed rail network which has been consistently expanded in subsequent years. France is a member of the International Union of Railways. The UIC country code for France is 87. History. The history of rail transport in France dates from the first French railway in 1832. Exploitation. Since Le Grand Star Rail Plan of 1842, French railway is highly polarized by Paris. Traffic is concentrated on the main lines. 78% of activity is done on 30% of the network, when the 46% smaller lines only drive 6% of the traffic. The 366 largest stations make 85% of passenger activity, and the smallest 56% of stations take only 1.7% of traffic. Freight transport. Freight transport has declined since the early 1980s. Today the network is predominantly passenger-centric. Since January 1, 2007, the freight market has been open to conform to European Union agreements. New operators had already reached 15% of the market at the end of 2008. Passenger transport short and middle distance. The Transport Express Regional is directed by the administrative regions of France. They contract with the SNCF for lines exploitation. Long distance. The SNCF directly manage this class of trains. The TGV is used on the most important destinations, while intercity carriages are still used for other lines. Network. The French railway network, as administered by SNCF REACUTSEAU, as of June 2007, is a network of commercially usable lines of 29,213 kilometers, of which 15,141 kilometers is electrified. 1,876 kilometers of those are high-speed lines. 16,445 kilometers dispose of 2 or more tracks. 5,905 kilometers are supplied with 1,500 volts DC. 9,113 kilometers with 25 kilovolts AC at 50 Hz. 122 kilometers are electrified by third rail or other means. 1,500 volts is used on the south and HSR lines, and the northern part of the country use 25 kilovolts electrification. Trains drive on the left, except in Alsace and Moselle. Rail links to adjacent countries. Same gauge. Belgium. Voltage change 25 kV AC, 3 kV DC. Germany. Voltage change 25 kV AC, 15 kV AC. Great Britain via the Channel Tunnel. Voltage change 25 kV AC, 750 volts DC. Third rail. Italy. Voltage change 25 kV AC, 3 kV DC. Luxembourg. Same voltage. Monaco. Same voltage. Spain via the LGV Perpignan Figueres. Same voltage. Switzerland. Voltage change 25 kV AC, 1, 5 kV DC, 15 kV AC. Break of gauge 1,435 mm, 1,668 mm. Spain. Voltage change 1, 5 kV DC, 3 kV DC. No rail link to Andorra. Current status. The French non-TGV intercity service is in decline. With old infrastructure and trains, it is likely to be hit further as the French government is planning to remove the monopoly that rail currently has on long-distance journeys by letting coach operators compete. Travel to the UK through the Channel Tunnel has grown in recent years, and from May 2015 passengers have been able to travel direct to Marseille, Avignon and Lyon. Eurostar is also introducing new Class 374 trains and refurbishing the current Class 373s. The International Transport Forum described the current status of the French railways in the paper Efficiency Indicators of Railways in France. The success of the TGV is undeniable. Work started in September 1975 on the first high-speed rail line between Paris and Lyon, and it was inaugurated in September 1981. New high-speed lines were opened in 1989, in 1993, etc. The high-speed network now covers 2,000 kilometers, and will reach over 2,600 kilometers in 2017, with the opening of the 4 lines currently being built. The regionalization of intercity and local services was tested in 1997 and fully deployed in the early 2000s. Since then, TERs have seen traffic rise steeply as, to a lesser extent, have services in the Île-de-France region. Rail freight has been far less successful. The French network carried 55 billion ton-km in 2001, but this figure scarcely reached 32 billion ton-km in 2013. This weak performance contrasts sharply with the ambitious public policy of the last 15 years. The Grenelle Environment Forum oversaw the deployment of a costly freight plan that was no more effective than its predecessors. Subsidies. The French railways receive rail subsidies from the state in order to operate, which amounted to €13.2 billion in 2013. Material. Alstom is the manufacturer of the TGV, and is behind many regional train models.